This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1196, How to Master the Art of Living by Babauta of Zen Habits.net. And I'm Justin Malik, the guy who's been reading articles, book excerpts, essays, sometimes stories, every day, including holidays, for over 3 years, even when I'm sick, as I am today. So let's keep this intro nice and short and start optimizing your life. How to Master the Art of Living by Babauta of Zen Habits.net. Imagine you had a gorgeous blueberry sitting on the otherwise empty plate in front of you. You pick it up gently, place it on your tongue, and begin to taste it. You already know how a blueberry tastes, and so when this one is a bit riper than you'd like, you make a face, feel the disappointment, and swallow it with displeasure. Or perhaps it tastes exactly as you'd expected, no big deal. You swallow and move on with your day. In the first case, the blueberry was disappointing because it didn't meet expectations. In the second, it was boring because it met expectations. Now try this. Have no expectations of how the blueberry will taste. You don't know because you haven't tried it yet. You're curious, open to a variety of tastes. You taste it and really pay attention. You notice the tanginess, the firmness of the skin, the sweet mushiness of the center, the complex flavors that emerge as you eat it. You didn't know how it would taste, but this is brilliant. It's new because you've never tasted anything quite like it. This is sometimes called the beginner's mind, but I think of it as a mind free of expectations. The blueberry, of course, can be anything in life, any experience, any person you meet, any cup of tea, any task before you, any interaction with a loved one, any thought that enters your head, any moment of the day. If you approach any of these with expectations, they will often disappoint or frustrate you, or be bland, blah, usual, and you move on to the next disappointing or frustrating or usual experience and so on, so that life is nothing but a series of things you barely like and barely notice. If you approach each moment, each task, each person without expectations, and just see that moment or person as they are, then you will really see that moment. Really appreciate it. Experience it like you've never experienced anything before because you haven't. This is the art of living. The worlds that open up. When you learn to approach each person and moment and task without expectations, it transforms everything. New worlds open up to you. A handful of examples. Number 1, procrastination. Let's say you've been putting off a big task at work because you're dreading doing it. Maybe it's a big project and you have this feeling of overwhelm. It's a lot of work. You're expecting to have to do hard work you're perhaps not good at, expecting failure or difficulty. But letting go of the expectations means you don't know how this task will go. You go into it with an open mind. You try it and see how it goes. You learn from the experience no matter how it goes. Number 2, habits. You enter a new habit with the expectation that it'll be amazing, change your life, and you'll do great. And when it is inevitably harder than you thought it would be and you're less successful at it, you're disappointed, discouraged, and frustrated. So you lose motivation and give up. If instead you let go of the fantasy of how this habit will go and just be open to what emerges, you can just do the habit. Just be in the moment with it. Then no matter how it turns out, you'll learn something. Number 3, frustrating person. This guy at work is frustrating you because he's not doing the work the way he should, or maybe he's being inconsiderate somehow. Your frustration stems from an expectation of how this person should act. They don't act according to this ideal, and so you suffer. Instead, you can put aside this expectation that people will live up to your ideals and just be open to them. They will behave imperfectly just as you will. Accepting the person as they are doesn't mean you do nothing. You can let go of the frustration and see how they're having difficulty and it as a teaching opportunity or an opportunity to help them with no expectation that they'll love your lesson or follow it, but just with the intention of helping someone. Number 4, kids don't behave. When your kids behave badly, it's the same problem. They aren't acting according to your ideal. But of course they're not. No kid behaves ideally, just as no adult behaves ideally. Do you behave ideally? I certainly don't. I'm rude when I'm in a bad mood or tired. I'm not proud of that, but I struggle to be considerate or cheerful sometimes. Everyone does. Your kids are struggling and you can be compassionate and help them kindly. That is, if you can let go of your expectations that they'll behave perfectly and accept them as struggling, beautiful people who just want to be happy just like you. Number 5, your body. You aren't happy with your body because it's not perfect. It doesn't meet your ideal, your expectation, and so you dislike it. That's not good because this self-discontent means that you're less likely to do healthy things. Often we think that dissatisfaction with ourselves motivates us to change. But in my experience, this discontent means that you don't really trust yourself to stick to changes, and so you make excuses when things get hard and then quit. I've done that a lot. When I am content with myself, I trust myself more and I stick to things more. So let go of expectations that your body will be perfect and just see your body as it is for the beautiful thing it is, independent of society's ideals of perfection. You're great. And number 6, each moment. As we enter each new moment, we expect things from it. We want it to be fun, amazing, productive, according to plan. And of course, each moment has its own plan and will be its own thing. So we are not happy with it. Instead, we can drop the expectations and just see the moment as it is. Just experience it, noticing, appreciating, being grateful. This is mastery. This is just a start. We can learn that plans, goals, ideals, these are all fantasies of what we'd like life to be like, and they're not real. We can learn to let go of the fantasies that inevitably occur and just experience life as it is, as it happens. This is the art of living. How to master the art. Mastering the art of living is not as easy as you'd expect, as you'd fantasize. It takes practice. It means learning to be mindful of when you have these ideals, expectations, and fantasies. It means learning to see the frustrations, anger, sadness, loneliness, and irritations as signals of the expectations you have and didn't notice. It means practicing that and then practicing letting them go. That means a lot of practice and a lot of remembering to practice. But that's the fun of it. You drop the expectation that you'll be perfect at this practice and just try it. You learn from the trying. You get better. You learn some more. And each moment along the way is a miracle to be appreciated and enjoyed. So the process of mastery is a succession of miracle moments. That's a beautiful thing. You just listened to the post titled How to Master the Art of Living by Babauta of Zen Habits.net. And hey, if you want to boost my spirits while I'm sick here and keep the show running at the same time, one thing that's so small but does have a huge impact here is if you share this podcast with someone and get them to subscribe. If everyone listening did that, it would have a massive impact, no joke. And it's such an easy thing to do, it would mean a lot, even if it's getting one person to subscribe to the show. So thank you for doing that. I'll leave it there for today. Oh, it's actually Holi today, the Festival of Colors, so happy Holi to you. Thank you for listening and being here, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Friday show, where your optimal life awaits.